Today's podcast is brought to you by the Herzog Foundation. She's a political powerhouse who has worked in both the Bush and the first-term Trump White Houses. Mercedes Schlapp is a prominent Latina national leader and a political media commentator. She joins me today to talk about the frenzy of activity that has occurred since President Trump was inaugurated. And we're going to talk scoop about CPAC, which is happening next week in Washington. Stay with us. This is the Moms for America podcast. Each week, leaders and everyday champions tell personal stories, share advice, and tackle the issues most important to moms. Hi, moms. I'm Debbie Curlitis, your host, and welcome once again to the Moms for America podcast. I'm so glad that you're here every week. We just love you, and we just hope every week we get a chance to inspire, encourage, and educate you about motherhood and lift you up in your journey. We know how difficult it can be these times, but we are here to help you. Well, today's program is going to be amazing. I love our guest as always. So happy to be joined today by my friend Mercedes Schlapp. Mercy is on the board of directors for Moms for America, and she is a great asset to our team. Kimberly, our president founder, myself, our whole entire team, we absolutely love her. Mercy has extensive experience and insight into presidential campaigns and politics, and she hosts the online show America Uncanceled. Mercy and her husband, Matt, are very busy these days preparing to host CPAC, which begins next week. Well, Moms for America, we are a presenting sponsor, and we are so looking forward to being there. And by the way, I will be doing some great interviews there for the podcast, so I will have lots of great stuff from CPAC coming up. But right now, we get a chance to talk with Mercy. Well, I don't know what to say, but I am so excited to have you on the Moms for America podcast. Welcome, Mercedes.
It's great to be on with my girls. Well, with my girl, Debbie, and normally with Kimberly as well, but it's great to be on.
Oh, so good. Well, we're all going to be down there at CPAC. We're going to have a great time next week. How's everything going, girl? I mean, this is big news again. CPAC, from what I'm seeing, everybody's going.
Well, you and I were just talking. They were saying that the Moms for America breakfast was sold out quicker than quick. We're trying to find more space so more people can go. The CPAC tickets, I mean, they are selling so fast. There is such an enormous amount of energy, of enthusiasm, of people, I think, the grassroots feeling so empowered, so focused, knowing that, yes, it is going to be a celebration. It's going to be a joyful time for all of us to come together, especially following, the inauguration, where a lot of people, quite frankly, couldn't even see the president, or, it was long lines here, long lines there. And the nice thing about CPAC is you get like a warm, comfy seat. You get to network and meet people. And then on top of that, you get great speakers and, pretty decent food. So I think it's just a better package altogether. But, it is, to me, what I am watching is this sense of, yes, we're celebrating, but we have a lot of work to get done. We've got to move quickly. And it is a moment in time that while we do have a lot of wins happening coming out of the White House, there's still, and in Congress, there's still the importance of understanding that we need to keep making changes in our local communities and in our states. And what role can you play to make that happen? And how can you find, make those connections, which I think CPAC does. And I am finding that as we're pulling together the agenda, it's really going to be a fascinating mix of, yes, the government officials, the White House officials, cabinet members, but also some of these cultural icons, social media influencers, some of these business top executives that also are going to be joining us. So there's a lot of really.
Is it a different lineup, a bit of a different lineup than usual?
It feels very different. Normally, I'm not saying, we do always have the number of like senators and congressmen. That's always part of it. But, we've got, for example, Michael Saylor, who basically is the dominant figure in Bitcoin,
right.
Which is just fascinating. And we're going to have some other big surprises, which I unfortunately cannot announce right now, but it's going to be coming of huge technological titans. That will be my hint of individuals who will be joining CPAC.
This is going to be a star-studded event. You're starting to tell me some of these, and I'm getting super excited.
Yes. Well, I mean, opening up CPAC is going to be Vice President Vance, who we're very excited is going to be
Woo! We
joining
love
us. Of
him.
course, we'll have President Trump as well. And then just a star lineup. We have White House officials like Sebastian Gorka, Tom Homan. We're going to be seeing Dan Scavino also give a speech, Stephen Miller, who's been running point on policy for the White House, in addition to several cabinet members like Secretary Doug Burgum, Secretary Doug Collins. And the list, I'm going to tell you, just keeps growing because obviously people are checking in with us saying we'd love to be part of this. And
Mhm.
then, of course, Senator Ted Cruz is always a big favorite. Benny Johnson's joining us, a big social media
Loving it.
influencer as well. Mike Benz, who has right now literally unraveled everything that's happened with USAID. Mike Davis, who's been a big fighter in on this issue of the weaponization of the DOJ. I mean, literally, the
Is
list
there
goes
any,
on and
hold
on.
on, is there anyone that you don't have?
At this
I
point,
think
I
it's, you've
don't
got
know. They're
everybody.
all coming in little by little. So,
I love it.
all I can tell you is that I think it's really going to be a sensational, just exciting mix of speakers, of individuals who not only are going to inspire you, but also
Oh, I love
help
it.
give us the directive, like what we
Right.
need to do. What is the call to action that we grassroots activists need to do, not only here in America, but across the globe? I mean, we have President Javier Milei, who's going to be speaking, and other international leaders who are also going to be speaking on stage because they are part of the CPAC family. They are there to
Sure.
fight the wokeism. They are there to fight the fake news, to fight the communists, to stand up for freedom. And it's really been amazing to watch how the CPAC
Mhm.
movement has grown internationally as well.
It sure has. So now we've talked about some of the people that will be on this stage. I want to talk a little bit about the attendees, and maybe a little bit about CPAC's history, and what it was built on. Is it mostly political-minded people? Is it gotten to be more just people that are concerned about their country? I mean, for Moms for America, we're a sponsor. This is our fourth
Yes.
year sponsoring, which we're so delighted to be a part of. We're doing the women's breakfast, and again, it's supposed to be sold out, but I'm hoping
We're
Mercedes
working
can.
on it.
We're
We're
working
working.
on maybe some rolling in a couple extra tables.
Yes.
Kimberly Fletcher, our president and founder that you referred to in the beginning, she's going to be on the stage speaking, so that's wonderful. I'm going to be on Media Row doing interviews for the podcast. I mean, this is not, and I'm just saying that because we're the moms. We're not
Yeah.
like the political people, even though I love the political people because we need legislators and leaders, but this is a diverse group.
Yes, well, it's become even more diverse. So we will have delegations coming from about 40 countries, which is truly amazing to watch happening. And then on top of that, we have grassroots coming from across the country. And what I love about these grassroots activists, as you know, because Moms for America is so critical for this, it is the moms and dads and the grandparents and the college students and the high school students. And what it is, a lot of times these individuals, what I've seen happen at CPAC is that it did go from kind of like the DC stuffy conference way back when, right? That it was more of just very inside Washington to,
Way back when did it start? I
so
just
it
want to
started in the 1960s, and really it
60s.
was the brainchild of William F. Buckley, who is, one of the most renowned conservative thought leaders in the country at the time. And
Okay.
part of it was, they brought Barry Goldwater was very involved in it. And then Ronald Reagan gave 13 speeches. Just think about that. Before he was president and then during his presidency. And he really always found a home at CPAC. And then it
Wow.
kind of really transformed as it became the place where people who were going to be running for president would go and make their case to the conservative movement. And of course, here came this guy. I think his first speech was in 2013 when he was kind of toying around with the idea of getting into politics. And I remember Matt having a sit down meeting with him back in 2015. And Matt, I'll never forget, went to the Trump Towers, came home and said, Donald Trump will be our president. He goes, he is the
Really?
out of the box outsider, exactly what we need for this
So
time.
Matt saw this coming.
Matt saw it coming from the beginning, and even Donald Trump, in many of his speeches, he has made the mention that he's like, Matt, you were the one that told me I need to run for president. So not that Matt takes any of the credit, but what I'm saying is that it was such a defining moment to really see President Trump kind of launch his career at CPAC. And then back in 2021, so this was after the 2020 election, when it was a very dark period for the Republican
Yeah.
Party, for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Matt invites President Trump to speak at CPAC, and this was probably not even a month after what happened at the Capitol in J6. And Matt had board members come to him and say, you need to disinvite President Trump. And Matt said,
I can only
I'm not
imagine.
disinviting President Trump. This is his family. We're going to support him. We're going to get him through this. And so he showed up on stage that year, and it was a very rough year. I'll never forget. And there, President Trump, I think, really at that point started building up his energy once again to say, we're going to run again. We're going to do this again. We're going to rebuild this movement. And I mean, now, Debbie, I mean, look at us now. I mean, look
I
at this
know.
movement now. It's just really remarkable.
All right, moms, hold on just 1 second. Quick break here. We will continue our discussion with Mercedes Slap right after this break. Don't go away. Hi, moms. I'm excited to share some news about our new sponsor, the Herzog Foundation. We know you're passionate about raising patriots and empowering your children with the best education possible. And the Herzog Foundation shares that passion. They're dedicated to promoting liberty through education freedom and helping parents like you choose the best educational path. They offer a powerhouse of resources designed to support families and schools alike. Whether you're ready to dive in headfirst to the world of education or simply looking for more ways to empower your child's learning. From free training events to their must-read online publication, The Lion, they're committed to keeping you informed about what's happening in education. Also, if you've ever thought, moms, about starting your own Christian school or co-op, their School Box online course will give you everything you need to get started on the right foot. Again, we are so proud to partner with the Herzog Foundation, and we encourage you to explore all their amazing tools and the insights that they offer. So go ahead, visit herzogfoundation.com to learn more. You won't want to miss these incredible resources. Again, find it all out at herzogfoundation.com.
You know, I've never really felt comfortable sharing pictures of my kids on social media. Then I found Tuvu, a premium social app with an actual, authentic community. No bots, no one trolling me or my family. Just clean, wholesome content you can trust.
Welcome back. Before we continue our interview with CPAC's Mercedes Schlapp, I would like to invite all of you to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. This is how we get our information out. So please let all your mama friends know about our podcast. We're here every week. And by the way, we have a lot of previous podcasts that are also amazing. You can find all that on our website at momsforamerica.us or in any of the catalogs. We're everywhere. So please check us out. Also, if you have an idea or a topic for the podcast, would you please email me at podcast@momsforamerica.net. I would absolutely love to hear from you. And lastly, I want to invite all of our moms that are listening. If you have not joined the movement here at Moms for America, you need to, because we are sisters. We are family. We are united all across this country. Moms just like you, fighting for faith, family, freedom, and the Constitution. I say this all the time. We're the ultimate support group for moms. We're here supporting you in your home, in your community, and most of all with your family. So go ahead. Please check out all of our information at momsforamerica.us. Congratulations all the way to the team over there. And again, I've been working with you on behalf of Moms for America, Kimberly and I. And what a great team you have there. And I mean, it's a sacrifice. I know everybody basically, you give up your life to get these events produced. This is a big baby. How many people you think will attend this year? I think this is going to be, will this be record breaking, you think?
It will be record breaking. I do believe it. I mean, it's just, we're getting so many calls of so many people joining, coming to the event. And, you get nervous because everyone was here for the inauguration, but then I think that they
Yeah,
were so like, oh my goodness, it was so cold. There were so many long lines. It took us forever. I didn't
it
really get
was.
to see the
Yeah.
president, or he was too far away. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to go hang out with you guys at CPAC. And I really feel that this is a moment of, yes, we're going to roll up our sleeves. This fight's it is the fight of making sure that we get the work done, right?
Yeah.
We have this huge responsibility on our shoulders. And I know
Sure
one of
do.
the successes, which was this executive order that was signed, that Kimberly was there. I believe you were there.
Yes, yeah, we were all there. We had just
Yeah.
FYI, I just want to brag for a moment to our moms. Thanks for bringing that up. If you didn't see it on our social media, Moms for America, along with so many other organizations that have fought to protect our girls, we had 26 moms and daughters on the stage, and then about 25 moms and daughters in the audience. So we had
Yeah.
50 something
Remarkable.
people there for that executive order.
Yeah.
How amazing was that? I mean, for you, that's probably little run of the mill because you're down there all the time. But for us, it was
Oh
quite
no, it
exciting.
made me so proud because I know the great work that you all do. And I actually was on a field trip with my daughter, so I wasn't able to go, but I have to tell you, it's wonderful when you see that the president moved very quickly on protecting girls' sports. But you know this, Debbie, it doesn't stop at the White House, right? Now we got
Right.
to try to get the legislation passed in Congress. Now we got to make sure that those
Yes.
other states that are not cooperating, that we find a way for them to pass the legislation to protect
Hmm.
girls' sports. So the battle never really ends. The work
Right.
never ends. And that's
Mm-mm.
the thing for conservatives is like, we can't simply sit down and say, okay, President Trump won. We can sit
Right.
back. We're fine. No, it
No.
is truly how do we just make sure that we keep the pressure on to get the work done? Look, Congress
Hmm.
is right now going to be facing the budget reconciliation bill, and they are moving slow. They are not on the same page. It is
No.
going to be a tough go round for Speaker Mike Johnson and some of these Republicans who are not going to want to play ball with Speaker Mike Johnson. And
Sure.
and we have a razor thin majority. These are the issues that we're going to be dealing with. And guess
Yeah.
what? The American people are looking at us, looking at President Trump, looking at the Republicans saying, I need inflation to go down. Things are too expensive. Cost of living is too high. I can't buy a house.
Sure is.
How are you going to solve my problems? And that is why the pressure's on, and it's the pressure to deliver.
Yeah. And I think this is why conferences like CPAC are so important because everyone will walk out motivated, empowered, and educated on how they can make a difference in their state. Because again, these executive orders, the president can do these all day long, but somebody
Right.
can just flip these if they're not, like you said, if they're not handled legislatively.
Right, right. And you remember, we're going to run into the judicial problem, which is what we're running into,
Right.
right? You have these activist judges putting a pause on almost everything the president is pushing forward. So an executive order gets signed or a federal worker gets fired. And,
Hmm.
the judge basically telling the executive branch, you got to reinstate these websites of CDC and FDA on the sex changes and the gender transitions, information. I mean, it's it's a tough environment
Yeah.
because we're also then dealing with these judges that are, in my opinion, overstepping their power, basically
Hmm.
stopping the president from getting any work done from the executive order branch. And it's why we need to make sure that the Republicans in Congress are working hand in hand with the president to make sure that these executive orders, that his stuff is put into the budget reconciliation bill where it can, so
Hmm.
that then you're seeing two branches of government working together and making sure that we fund the right programs that need to be funded.
Yeah. Wow. Beautifully said. And so true. I'm in Illinois where you've got the governor taking on the president
Oh,
and
yeah.
just, and saying we're not going to comply. We're not going to respect your
And the
executive order. So,
mayor, oh my gosh, Brandon Johnson
right.
was like
I
the
got a whole,
absolute
I got all
worst.
kinds of problems over here.
Yeah, yeah.
What about some of these other, real quick, just, I mean, record speed on some of the things that he has done to the immigration issue, to buying Greenland, the changing the name for the Gulf to America. What are some of the things that and we talked about the protecting women's sports. What are some of the highlights that you thought were just off the charts? I mean, I guess
Well,
all of them were off the charts, but
yeah. Well, I got to tell you, look, I think that, and I worked in the first White House, and really, it was a
right.
great honor to work for President Trump during that time. And it's so funny because people are like, "Are you going to go back in?" And I was like, we have enough work to do at CPAC right now. So,
Yeah.
but what I like is that they've been very organized in executing these executive orders and moving very fast. And what I do love are, for example, these huge investments that we're seeing in the United States. Let's take the Stargate, which was the announcement between OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank. That's $100 billion investing in the United States that will create jobs in places like Texas. And it's, very promising to watch that you have these corporations saying, you know what, America's open for business and I'm going to invest here in the United States. And look, for me, I really feel that that is critical, being able to move forward in terms of energy independence, being
Correct.
able to know that America is a place you invest in our workforce. I think that they've taken immediate action to empower ICE, being able to remove these criminal illegal aliens immediately, sending them
Hmm.
and negotiating with these countries so that they can accept these deportees. Critical
Hmm.
success. So I think, like, in the sense of securing the border, those actions have been moving in the right direction. I think they've taken very bold steps in this. I think the Doge aspect of being able
Yes, I want your take on that,
unravel,
please. Come
yeah,
on.
unravel the corruption, the mismanagement,
Yeah.
how they've misspent American tax dollars. I mean, it's alarming. Like when you're
Yeah.
paying, millions of dollars for sex changes in Guatemala, you got to scratch
Oh
your
my
head and be like,
God.
why are we
Right.
doing that? Like, why are we not helping homeless vets or
Hmm.
helping single mothers or, helping
Yeah.
sex trafficking victims? No, it's going for sex changes in Guatemala or the transgender comic book in Peru
Hmm.
or Colombia. I mean,
Fashion shows and I mean like
gross.
crazy stuff and
It's crazy
different.
stuff. And no
Yeah.
one like said anything for like no one really could understand what USAID where they were spending their money.
Because they've been doing it. No one's ever questioned them, right?
Yes. And you've got the Clinton Global Foundation receiving a ton of money. You've got
Saw that
Open
thing.
Society Foundation, which is George Soros's group. I mean, you're talking about these leftist groups pushing leftist propaganda around the globe while, come on, Clinton Global Foundation, how much money is actually going to the people? How much money are they putting in their pockets? And that to me is absolutely disgusting. You've had the
Right.
Democrats use this as a piggy bank
Slush
for
fund, yeah.
their leftist propaganda all across the globe. And it is, to me, I think one of the grossest
Hmm.
misuse of taxpayer dollars that I have seen.
Do you think people are getting it now? That's what I think.
I
I think
do.
people are getting it. I think
I,
they're
I,
seeing it.
I
Thank
do.
God. Thank
I mean,
God
I'm
we've got
not,
this exposure.
yeah, and look, there's poll numbers, which, they're good, bad, but CBS came out with these poll numbers and 70% of Americans are saying, look, President Trump is doing what he promised to do. And he's
Right.
tough, energetic, focused. Majority of Americans agree with what President Trump is doing. Now, part of this is because President Trump is like a machine and he's got, a very talented and brilliant Elon Musk on his side. But because when you look at Joe Biden and he did nothing for 4 years and the media covered
Incredible.
up for his
Yeah.
decline of his mental decline and said nothing and didn't even raise hardly any questions. And you kept going. I'm sure you felt the same way, Debbie, where you were
Yeah.
going. If something horrible happens in the US, who
What?
is our
Yeah.
president? Who is leading
Right.
the way?
Who is leading this
Yeah,
country? And,
exactly.
and obviously he's not capable. So between not knowing who's leading the country and a leader who's not capable and a vice president, can't even go into that one. But yeah, what a mess. And
What
oh
a
my
mess.
gosh. And thank God for President Trump. Thank God for his team. These nominations are coming out of Washington right now. It is exciting times. Give us some words of advice to our moms too. I know you're so busy. I'm so glad that you came by the podcast. I really wanted our moms to know about CPAC if they're in the area, if they can attend, to please come because there are some tickets still available.
Yes,
You've got some on the side
and they're
for our
cheap.
moms.
And they're cheap. We have these generous sponsors, including Moms for America. The tickets are going for like $95 for all of the days of the conference. And I promise you, every mom who like brings like their children or their teenagers, they leave there, or their husbands, they leave there and they go, oh my goodness, this was like the best thing ever. I am ready to go and
Yeah.
do what I can to help, my community. And it is really inspiring to watch. I don't know how many moms have come out of CPAC and then decided, I'm going to run for school board seat, or
I
I'm
was
going to
just going to
run
say
for,
that.
yeah, yeah. Like it makes me want to cry because I think about these moms who like, they were there to just simply like mind their own business, raise their
Right.
children. That's what we were all doing. Like we were
Or
raised.
sometimes it's like, I'm going to bring the kids so they
Yeah.
can kind of see what's going
Yeah.
on in my, and then they walk out, they're totally on fire.
Yeah. And then they realize like, wait a second, I have these God-given gifts. I can really
Yeah.
rally and do things and make a difference in my community. And how many
Hmm.
brave mothers, and so many of them, who have fought on the front lines, going to the school boards, defending and protecting their children while they're being looked down upon. And
Right.
what you realize, and this is what I love about Donald Trump and what I love about the organizations that we are part of, is we never backed down. We fought till the
That's
end.
it.
And it was truly the way to understand that we were the mama bears protecting our cubs and protecting our kids and realizing like we're the ones that need to be empowered. We're the
Yeah.
ones that have to make sure that our kids grow up to be healthy and loved
Mm.
and not indoctrinated by the left. I do meet moms that go to CPAC that will share with me the story of like my kid was, like just conservative or whatever. He went off to college, became like
Sure.
flaming liberal, and it's
Yeah.
hard for them. And they're
Oh,
like, how can we lose our youth? And so I
how
think
can we?
now we're seeing the shift. We're seeing the pendulum go in the other direction where you're having so many young people saying, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
I've been deceived by the left and I want to be
Yes.
part of this incredible movement."
Oh, well said. I know you're 5 daughters you have, right?
5 daughters, yes. And they
I
all
know.
work at CPAC. I
I
know
know they're so
Kimberly.
great. They're all walking around with you.
Yeah, yeah.
They're adorable. I just love seeing them. And this is why I'm bringing this up is because your daughters work with you. My daughter works with
Yes,
me. Kimberly's
Kimberly's
daughter works
daughter
with
works.
her. Vanessa's daughter works with her. I mean,
Yeah,
we're training our daughters. We're training our kids. We're
yeah.
involving them. This is what we need to be doing as moms. So that's why CPAC is so wonderful. That's why Moms for America is so wonderful. We're encouraging, supporting, and empowering these moms. And that's really what we want to do with CPAC. And I know that's what CPAC is doing with our moms. So some encouraging words for our moms as we look at 2025. We can't
No.
we can't relax.
No, we want to celebrate, but we can't. You're right. Like we got to stay focused. I think
Yes.
that's the big message. And there's still so much work to be done. But you know what? We are the happy warriors. I really do believe that. And I think that there is a lot of joy right now. And I think like we got to embrace that part as well. And we do have to, enjoy the victory, but know that that there is still a lot to get done.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mercedes. I know how busy you are. Hugs to Matt. Thanks to the whole team out there. We will see you at
We'll see
CPAC
you
next
next week.
week. Yes.
Yes,
God
please go
bless
to
you.
cpac.org, get tickets. We'd love to see you all come and join us.
All right. Thank you, babe.
Thank you.
Don't you just love her? Thank you again, Mercedes. Thanks to CPAC for doing such great work every year and throughout the year, by the way. This is not just once a year. They're always doing things. They're doing things all across the country, the CPAC organization and internationally. So again, if you can sneak in here and work it out, go to cpac.org, get your tickets. Again, we may have a couple of tickets opening up for the women's breakfast that we're sponsoring. I will be in Media Row. Stop by and see me. I'd love to say hi and maybe get some interviews in. And then also Kimberly Fletcher, our president founder, will be on the stage. I think it's Friday morning. So please, please come on in the auditorium and hear her great speech. For more information for CPAC, again, it's cpac.org. And for Moms for America, please check us out. We have incredible resources, seminars, webinars. I just saw 2 of our upcoming webinars that are going to be happening. Amazing. We have just incredible programs that, again, help you in your journey through motherhood, help you make an impact in your community, help you be a better, stronger mother, help you raise patriots. How do you find all that? Real simple. You go to momsforamerica.us, sign up for our newsletter. You'll get an incredible blog every week. You'll get information about our podcast and then all of the other resources we have. We say this every week, from parental rights to public policy, from the kitchen table to Congress. Moms for America has it all. So, moms, thanks again for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, mamas, I will see you next week. And let's keep changing our country one home at a time. God bless. A special thank you to our sponsors, the Herzog Foundation and Tuvu. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Herzog Foundation.